Gentleman from Colonial Heights, Mr. Cox.
Point of personal privilege, Mr. Speaker.
Gentleman has the floor.
But I try to get us right at the 1 o'clock morning hour deadline. Yesterday, Governor McAuliffe's administration painted a very pretty picture on the cost of Medicaid expansion to Virginia. The administration projects that expanding Medicaid will now save the Commonwealth over $1 billion by 2022. Now, I'm not really surprised by these new projections, but I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated because I think common sense is totally gone out of the window. Instinctively, I think we all know, and common sense would tell you, that makes no sense whatsoever. Medicaid is the fastest growing part of Virginia's budget. Medicaid spending in Virginia, both state and federal, has grown by 1,600% over the last 30 years. The state portion of Medicaid spending has more than doubled over the last 10 years. Medicaid is growing at an average of 8% annually. For this budget biennium, the current Medicaid program, without expansion, will cost an additional $674 million in Virginia dollars. That's over 40% of the new revenue available to Virginia this year. Secretary Hazel estimates that 30% of all health care spending in Virginia is waste, fraud, and inefficiency. Last year, the Attorney General's office recovered nearly $200 million in Medicaid fraud settlements. So what you have is a massive entitlement program growing at an unsustainable rate full of waste, fraud, and abuse. And somehow we are going to make this program bigger and save money. If we sort of go by that logic, if we actually expanded Medicaid to 175%, we'd probably save $2 billion. If you look back historically, all of this is impossible. The original projection for Medicare was that it would cost $12 billion annually in 1990. In 1990, Medicare actually cost $110 billion. Today, it's over $500 billion. The original cost for Medicaid was $238 million. The actual cost was over $1 billion. The Medicaid hospitalization program was originally projected to cost $9 billion in 1992. The actual cost was $67 billion. The Medicare home care program, originally projected to cost $4 billion in 1988, it actually cost $10 billion. Our friends on the other side of the aisle keep coming to us and saying, if we just create this one more program, or if we just make this one more program bigger, then we'll solve everyone's problems and it won't cost that much at all. It's kind of like Lucy with the football. I think you all remember that from the Peanuts cartoon. How many times do you have to see the story before you know what is going to happen? At some point, history has to prove you right. We have seen the actual cost far outpace the original projections from nearly every major entitlement program in the last 50 years. But somehow we're supposed to believe that this program is going to magically correct itself in 4 years. I'm sorry, that doesn't make sense. Instinctively, it just doesn't add up. Over the next 6 weeks, we're going to hear every day a new reason to expand Medicaid. But no matter how you do the math, you cannot change the fact that Obamacare is a disaster. Medicaid is a broken system, and nearly every single promise the federal government has made on entitlement spending has failed to pan out. That's why we cannot expand Medicaid. We have a fiduciary duty to the people of Virginia to balance our budget. Medicaid consumes 22% of the state budget right now. What are we going to do when it gets to 26 or 27%? Let's not kid ourselves. What that means is you're going to have to cut K-12 spending, higher education, mental health, and public safety. And I do challenge anyone who wants to expand Medicaid in the future to go up to the 9th floor and find the tens of millions of dollars I guarantee it will cost in the future. Mr. Speaker, we can have floor speeches every day. We can bring charts into the chamber. We can redo the math every day. But we cannot change history. And every bone in my body tells me that Medicaid expansion is a bad deal that we should not accept. Thank you.